Welcome to The Network, a modern podcast version of the Negro Motorist Green Book. I've had the chance to interview some of my favorite people. Every episode is designed to help our community navigate the funky four corners of life. We are here to help the physical, mental, spiritual, and financial health of Black people living in and traveling through America. Subscribe to The Network. You never know, you might need it. In the words of the modern and great poet O'Shea Jackson, some of y'all probably know him as Ice Cube, once again, it's on. My name is Michael Prejean. I'm the host of The Network. So today's guest, y'all, we got a dynamic guest today. I'm really excited about this episode. I'm excited about this interview. Today's guest is a transformational, impactful speaker, life visionary strategist, and internationally award-winning chef. She empowers women to live limitless lives, celebrate confidence, and inspire the youth to discover self-worth. She is a diva. She is relentless, an unleasher, a ceiling shatterer who proves that when powered by passion, focus, and drive, women are unstoppable. Listen, y'all, she's known for her intelligence, effortless sophistication, style, and grace. As beautiful as she is brilliant, she is the creative genius and fusion mastermind behind some of the most remarkable dishes, business ideas, and a game-changing culinary educator in the country. Listen, I'm not done, y'all. Her roster already reads Wall Street Journal, USA Today, a 10-time Amazon best-selling author, the James Beard Legacy Mentor Chef, the first African-American female chef in Spring ISD, Brains 500 Senior Executive Contributor, Tap In Top 20 Women to Follow in Business. She's the recipient of 17 prestigious awards and internationally known. Listen, if you give her a notepad and a pen, she will erect a visionary strategy to guide you from message to movement and push you into a plethora of opportunities overflowing with revenue, impact, and power. You do not come to this young lady with business ideas. You come to her for a legacy. She was born to change the game, y'all. A visionary whose name will be spoken alongside the most celebrated food innovators of her time. She is a force that is impossible to reckon with. Ladies and gentlemen, I need y'all to welcome Chef LaToya Larkin. Chef, how are you today?
I am abundantly blessed and well. First of all, thank you for having me. Every time I hear somebody read my bio, it's just like, dang, I really did all that? Like, I'm really
Hey,
doing this?
you doing it.
Like,
You are
but I
doing it.
have. And, and here's the thing about it, I gave a list of stuff to the person, right, that wrote it for me. And when I got it back, I was like, oh, okay, I'll take
Yeah,
that.
you've been working. You've been
I'll
working.
take that.
You know, like Steve Harvey
Yeah,
used
I've
to
been
say, we
working,
had
been
to bring you
working.
out. We had to bring you out, right?
Yeah. Look, and it was the pandemic that did it.
Hey,
Yeah, it was the pandemic that did it.
there it is. All right, Chef. So before we dive into this thing, please tell everybody who will be watching on YouTube, those who may be listening via podcast, if they want to get in touch with you, if they want to follow you, where do they need to go?
So to follow me and get at me, Black Girl Tamales on all platforms. Black Girl Tamales on Facebook, on my personal page, Arthur LT Larkin. Um, Let me see, Instagram, Black Girl Tamales, Chef Divah, and then TikTok, Twitter. I really don't be on Twitter and TikTok like that. I'm working on that, but that is Black Girl Tamales as well.
Okay. Well, listen, you probably need to just get you a social media manager, because you're busy.
And
I'm looking at the bio.
I am,
You
and
busy.
I'm looking at that. We're gonna be. I got somebody that I'm gonna be working on that. So she's taking over some stuff. Gave me a proposal of things, and I was like, "Girl, do it. Just do what you do." Because I trust it. You got it. I'm here for it. So, and we're working on some stuff for that. But yeah, I definitely do need the social media management.
All right. So y'all heard her, Black Girl Tamale. That's where you can find her on all platforms. And what we'll do is we'll drop the platforms. We'll drop them down below so you can find Chef Larkin on all of her platforms. Black Girl Tamales. All right, Chef. Here on the
And
network,
that
one
is,
thing that
if they
we
want to
do
place
not
an
wait
order
to
as well
do.
at blackgirltamales.com.
Okay, you got that. So if y'all want to place an order, blackgirltamales.com. All right, Chef, here on the network, we don't wait
That's
to
it.
give people flowers. What we do is we like to give flowers at the very beginning of every episode. All right, so who would you like to give flowers
Mm-hmm.
to before we get started?
Man, I'm gonna give flowers to my mom. Like it's Mother's Day weekend.
Yes, it is.
I lost my uncle on May 1st, and May is one of those months like it's really rough for our family. My uncle passed, and that was my mother's last brother, so it was her, the two of them. So yeah, he passed on the first. Then my other uncle, her baby brother, that he passed, his birthday's on the 10th. My papa passed on the 16th, and then my grandma passed on the 19th. So it's all those back to back anniversaries, and I went back home this weekend to go take his suit up there and see my family and my daddy. And I was telling my sister when I got back, I was like, man, we are the only two. Like our parents are still alive, both parents. Like everybody that we done grew up with, like if they haven't lost both parents, they got or they've lost a parent. So it's like I want to give flowers to my parents, like for them to just still be here and still being able to breathe, especially my mom because she come through clutch. Like I wouldn't even be doing what I'm doing and moving the way I move without her support. Like I wouldn't be doing a thing without her.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So shout out to Coach Larkin's parents, and then also, Chef, condolences to you and your family. We'll make sure that we keep you, everybody, all of our watchers and listeners, y'all keep Chef Larkin's family in your thoughts and your prayers. May is a tough month. May is a tough month. All right, Chef Larkin, thank you for sharing that
Thank
with
you.
us. So let's dive head first into this thing. Let's go ahead and get 10 toes down. Tell us why it
Well, let's get.
is.
I already know you can get to it.
That's it. Like, why is it that you do what you do?
I do what I do, and for one, because of my son. Like, he is my everything. Like, he is one of those. Like, I wouldn't be moving and doing a lot of what I do without him because I just want to show a positive example for him. Just actually show him something positive, build wealth, build a legacy. And just show him something different. From what we used to being conditioned to. And another thing, the reason why I do what I do because I'm just doing what God's telling me to do. Like this is the vision that He has out for me, and I feel like a lot of times people get in their own way when God start talking to them and then start telling them what to do and how to do things, and they overthink it and it becomes a whole lot. And I'm just serving in my purpose. So
Okay.
just doing what I'm supposed to be doing. So that's why. That's my why.
Okay. So you mentioned you went home. Where's home?
Jasper, Texas.
Okay. Okay. So is that where you first got the cooking bug? Is that, so who kind of showed you
Oh,
the way around the kitchen?
absolutely. My grandma planted this. I started cooking when I was 8 years old, and
Okay.
my grandma she planted the seed with tamales. I learned how to make tamales with her. I learned how to cook. I learned how to bake. Um, it's one of those things. It's so funny because I see the I know I'm pretty sure you've seen those memes with the '80s stimulus pack where they have like all the government products, the cheese and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
peanut
yeah,
butter and all of that type of stuff.
yeah.
And like I learned how to make peanut butter cookies, from that government stimulus pack. So
Okay.
just cooking different stuff. And my grandma was one of those like she really let me freestyle. Like it really wasn't one of like, oh, I gotta watch you. Did not do what you do. Look, pull up the chair and help. Like I help to measure stuff. And so I just got that seed. I mean, that seed was just planted. And then I always liked how it made people feel. They'll come and my grandma, she low key ran a trap house, right? She ran the trap with my uncles and stuff. And so like
Yeah.
it was always a lot of people in and out. And so, and then I'm running around and stuff. And so I'll hustle them. Hey, I sell you a cookie for 25 cents. And then it just started going up on 50 cents. Then it went to,
Yeah.
that type of thing. But
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
they coming off of it though,
Yeah.
So that just kind of put the seed there. But that's how I learned how to cook from my grandma. So she definitely planted the seed, and I just haven't stopped there. And then when I got to high school, I did cosmetology
Mhm.
and did that for a while. But then it was like, this ain't what I want to do. I like that feeling of like when I cook stuff and people's reaction. And then I really started thinking like that reality, like when it comes down to it, like, man, I'm gonna always have a job in regards to food. Like that ain't gonna never go nowhere. What I mean?
That's right.
Hair
That's right.
and that's the beauty industry. That's $1 million industry. But food, man, that ain't gonna stop. Like you already know, first time somebody get $1 in their pocket, they trying to go eat. They
What?
trying to splurge. They
Yeah.
doing. It's always any event. It's always gonna be some food. So that's what made me just kind of pursue that and go further with it.
So it's something about food. So food is one of the things that just brings people together. You know, that's the
Yeah.
one thing. So for me, I'm obviously not a chef, but I like to eat. Um, but
Right.
I love, whenever I do cook or if I get on the grill or whatever, one of the ways I love to serve my family, and friends, it's
Yeah.
like, man, let's come on, y'all
Yeah.
come by the house. I'm gonna throw something on the grill. We're gonna cook
Yeah.
something. Let's sit down and eat. Food brings people together. So your son,
It definitely does.
how old is your son? And does he
My
cook?
son is 18. He's actually graduating next month.
Okay, okay. Oh man, congratulations, congratulations. So is he a cook in training? Is he a chef in training?
Oh, he been cooking me since he's 3.
Oh
So he
wow.
know how to cook. He know his way around the kitchen. He was cooking us full course meals when I didn't feel like cooking when we was like 8 or 9. So he can
Oh,
cook, but he don't want to be a chef. And I respect that. He
okay.
told me, so this is funny, coach. Let me say, he's like, I think he was about, I want to say about 11 or 12. But he's like, we was sitting down eating. He was like, Mama, would you be married if I didn't want to be a chef? And I was like, no. I was like, son, whatever you want to do, I'm gonna support it. I just need you productive, um, doing what you want to do, and whatever you're happy about. I was like, I wouldn't be mad about it. I was like, but it's a good skill to have. And he was like, yeah, it is. He was like, good, because I just want to know how to cook for the girls, because the girls love a man that know how to cook. And I'm like,
Hey, he
you right about that. So,
he is strategic.
you're 11 or 12. Tell me that. He's strategic, yeah. So when he told me I couldn't do nothing but let, and I have to tell everybody that, because everybody I was like, he following your footsteps, he gonna be a chef? No, he just want to cook and get the girls. So he already done said that,
Oh
but
man.
yeah, he could cook though. He has definitely, like I said, since he was 3. Look, we used to pull up the stool, look, measure this out, same way my grandma did me. I just broke him in a little bit earlier. So, but
Okay.
yeah, like by the time he was about 8, 9, yeah, he had full course meals. Like he was getting in and getting it.
Man, that's what's up. So if I asked him who's the better
Hmm.
cook, what would he say? What would he say?
Depending on, oh, you already know he gonna claim himself, so he gonna claim himself or that he's the better cook. But like I told, look, you learn from the best. So where does
Okay.
it really start? Like where does it really start at? But
There it
I let him
is.
have it. But, and we'll do little fun stuff, have the little challenges and stuff, and like his cousins come over, like pizza night, nacho. Let them decorate up. Who got the, stuff like that. We do those
Okay.
type of things. But now they done got a little bit older, so they done got busy living life and working, and both of them got jobs and stuff now. So, but yeah, we used to do stuff like that.
Okay. So my grandmother, I grew up in South Louisiana, and my
Mhm.
grandmother used to make
Okay.
tamales, right? So,
Okay.
and everybody, she lived in the projects. Everybody would come by. She'd make tamales. Everybody would buy tamales from her. But she,
Hmm.
up until, now, she's the only person I knew that made tamales, right? So,
Right.
why tamales? And you mentioned your grandmother made them, right?
Hmm.
So, do you know how your grandmother? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot of black people who make tamales, right? That's
Right.
me. So why
Hmm.
tamales? How did
Right.
that get started? Educate us on that.
So I know. So for my grandma, how I got started was her first husband, my uncle, my mom's oldest brother. She was married to him. He was stationed out in California, right?
Okay.
So it was a Hispanic lady that taught her how to make tamales. So when she came back to Texas, she brought the concept back to Texas. So when she came back to Texas, also back in the day, she was the help. So
Okay.
tamales, that was her side hustle. That was her
Okay.
side hustle to do that. And like I said, and plus, like, with my uncles and stuff, because my mom, she's the baby, she got 5 brothers, so they ran the trap house, so they trapped and stuff, and so that was part of, that was just the hustle, just like that survival mode of just
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And so, and I grew up always watching it, watching her, and then a couple of my uncles, help her roll, and of course we'll get in and roll, and then it was one of those things. If we helped make, okay, I pay you to do this. Oh, okay, so as a kid, you trying to make your money and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, so I'm gonna help you make tamales, and I'm gonna help you clean this up, or I'm gonna help you make this and stuff like that. So that's kind of how I got into it. Now, how this came about with tamales, honestly, I swear to God, to this day, I never saw it coming. Like, I never thought it would have been anything of all things. I've always made tamales. What I used to do with tamales was during the summertime. I would make tamales in the summer. I would make out a big batch, and I'll sell them during the summer when I was teaching. And so it was the summer of 2019. My son, he's my sous chef. You know, been cooking with me like since he was 3. And I had told him after a Mother's Day brunch we did at the school, I had some collard greens left, and I told him, I was like, son, I'm gonna take these collard greens and I'm gonna put them some tamales. And he was like, Mama, you tripping? Like, we need to just do what we do. Like, that's like collard greens. Like, this sounds weird. And I was like, I know it sounds weird, son. I was like, but think about it. I was like, it's like cornbread and collard greens.
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
was like, we say it like that, cool, but it just sounds weird, Mama. It just sounds weird. And I was like, well, I'm still gonna try it. So took the little container of tamales and made out about about a dozen. Let him try it and some clients, and like it was over from there. And so, and again, I'm doing the traditional chicken and pork because that's what I grew up making was the just that traditional chicken and pork. And so now we got the collard greens, and it's like okay, um, and then I'm thinking. So, and I was in grad school at that time as well too, because this was pre-pandemic.
Okay.
So me being in grad school, and it's like and so then I was like, okay, let me capitalize on that because I've gotten a lot of interesting feedback from people, and I tell them about the tamales and try them, and it's like, and I always got that look when I tell, especially the coworkers, I tell them, oh yeah, I make tamales, and they looking at me crazy, and it's like, I'm black. I know that's what you're thinking because I get it. Because like you said, a lot of black people don't make tamales. I already know that's exactly what you're thinking. It's because I'm black. And so, and that's why I was like, black girl tamales, because all of the flavors pertains to the black culture. So what I make is and then we started slowly adding on other flavors, and then it was one of my group of students one time, and she was like, Mama, let's do some etouffee tamales. And I was like, etouffee, how we gonna do that? How we gonna pull that off? But then I was like, oh, you know what? I was like, okay. And so I was like, let's play around with it. And so then we got the collard green and the etouffee was right. Cool. So then now we in 2020 pandemic hit, didn't go back to school, and that's when all the other flavors hit because were you still in the district or you was with another district?
So the pandemic year, that was my last year in spring. So
Okay, so they went into that panic mode, and we was chilling for like a couple of weeks before we even knew what to do, right?
right.
And so during that time, I've always had my private personal chef business, so that's what I thought was gonna blow up. That's the crazy thing, because like I love date nights, love to go cook for people. I meal prep and stuff. I clean my freezer out and post stuff up, and people will, they'll get it. And so when we came off of a Zoom meeting for CTE, and it just hit me. I was like, soul food tamales, because I had made some oxtails that weekend. And then I got up, ran downstairs, pulled that meat off the bone, and I was like, this is it, soul food tamales. Everything that goes with soul food. I mean, cornbread. So instead of the regular chicken, I'm going to do smothered chicken. Instead of the smothered pork chop, smothered pork chop.
And then like here, Jasper's, Chef. Right? Okay. We're going to go ahead and jump into the exit ticket. All right. So we got a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, and a 1 in this exit ticket. So the 5 is the Furious 5. So I actually got more than 5 questions here. I'm going to try to narrow it down to 5 because there's just so much stuff I want to ask you. All right. Are you ready?
Look, I'm here. You tell me. I'm here to answer whatever you ask.
All right. Here we go. First question. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Ooh, superpower. I don't think I remember answering that question. But if I could have any superpower, I think the ability to read minds.
Okay.
I love
Why?
to be able to to really read minds, because a lot of people, they'll lie about what they're thinking about. You'll ask them, hey, what you thinking about? And they don't want to hurt your feelings. Yeah, okay. No.
Yeah.
Knowing they got someone, are they mad? Like, hey, you mad at? No, I ain't mad. Knowing they really mad. So I would think like to read minds or just having that real true lie detector type ability. Like one of that right there.
Okay. What's the most underrated ingredient in cooking? Most underrated ingredient.
Most underrated ingredient in cooking, I would have to say brown butter. Anything brown butter is good. I don't think people really. First of all, a lot of people don't realize what brown butter is.
Right. That was I was getting ready to ask.
Okay, so brown butter, that's actual real butter, not margarine. Because a lot of people like to think because they've been used and grown up, substitute margarine as butter. But butter is separate from margarine.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about butter, and this is a funny quick story. One time we were out of butter at school, right? We had like all of this heavy cream, and so the students there came to Chef, we out of butter, and I was like, put some heavy cream in the mixer. And they say, but we out of butter. I was like, put some heavy cream in the mixer. You know that if you whip heavy cream, it turns into whipped cream. And if you keep whipping it, it'll separate and it turns to butter, right?
Okay,
And
I know
so
now.
they got, oh, you okay? So look, fun fact, right? So so they making them. So then when it came, because I could start hearing it, like, because it'll once it separate, you can hear the sloshing like from the milk solid and the butter and stuff. And so and it was like, dang. Chef, you can make anything. Like anytime we out of something, you always got like some kind of solution. And I was like, well, that's what butter is. Butter is heavy cream cooked down and whipped up. With brown butter, if you take brown butter and you melt it, of course it'll get all fizzy and all of that. Just let it keep going until it turns brown. It gives off like a nutty aromatic flavor. And when I say we start baking stuff, like especially cookies, like cookies made with brown butter. If you brush something with some black, it just had that flavor. Man, brown butter is very underrated. Like, and what I do is I usually just melt down some brown and just keep it on stock and just cook with it. Just cook the sauce with it. Have you ever had the pontchartrain from
Papado,
Papados?
I have.
Yeah, that's what they use. That's a brown butter sauce. So
Okay.
I opened up that Papados out in the Woodlands. So I learned that recipe out there. So that's why I discovered the power of brown butter was when we used to make when I learned how to make that sauce. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, do you listen to music while you're cooking?
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Okay. So, give me 3 songs that's got to be on your cooking playlist.
Man, my so I got 3 songs, anything Jeezy, anything T.I., anything Rick Ross.
Oh,
Like
we.
I'm one of them like when I'm in the
Oh,
kitchen like that trap,
yeah,
like just
yeah.
just in that good groove, like unless it's a laid back groove, but normally when I'm getting it, like yeah, it's anything them three.
Okay. Two more questions in the Furious Five. Is cooking an
Okay.
art or is it a science or is it both?
Both.
Okay. Okay.
Baking, so bacon is, what, yeah, it's both because bacon is a true science, no, without a doubt. Cooking, because with cooking, you could mess something up, and then you can come through and freestyle it, and figure it out and tighten it up, and you'll be okay. Bacon, if you mess something up, you really got most time you got to throw it out and start over. Um,
It's interesting.
the art the art behind it becomes when you plate it, because it's like cooking it, because you're taking it from one form to another, so that's science itself right there when you're taking something from one form to another. But when you come down to the plating and presentation, that's where the art comes in at, because a lot of times it's a compliment, but it's funny when I hear, man, I don't even want to eat the food, it looks so pretty. It's like, but
Yeah,
that's what you're
yeah, yeah,
supposed to do.
yeah.
You want to eat food that looks good.
Okay, last question in the Furious Five right here. If you could
Okay.
cook for any historical figure, who would it be and what would you make?
Any history, you know what? I'm putting it out there to the universe. I want to cook for Michelle Obama. I heard she loves tamales. So
Oh,
she needs to try black girl tamales.
Michelle Obama. I know you're not watching yet.
Look,
I know you're not
okay,
watching
yeah,
yet, but we're going to get this to
yeah.
you. All
We
right?
gonna
We're going
get
to get
this to
this to
you.
you.
Yeah.
So you have a date.
She's the one. She's on the list. She's on my list. I've had an opportunity to cook for some pretty good people. When I lived in Atlanta, I worked at Morehouse College. So all the Black Hollywood send their kids to Morehouse College.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I had the opportunity to cook for a lot of Black Hollywood and Oprah, because and that was back in the day. You remember when Oprah used to send the boys to Morehouse?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, she'll come back every year, and so I've had a chance to cook for some pretty good celebrities back in the day when I was at Morehouse. But yeah, when I found out Michelle Obama likes tamales, I was like, oh yeah, she's the one. I need to get my tamales
Got
on.
to make it happen. Michelle Obama. We
Look,
waiting. Chef is
we
waiting on
wait.
you. Chef is waiting on you. All right. So that was the Furious Five. Now we're going to the Funky Four.
Okay.
So you're going to give us the best advice you received in the following areas: physically,
Okay.
mentally, spiritually, and financially. So, what's the best physical advice you've ever received?
Physical advice, man, just staying active, just really, because I think a lot of times people, as they get older, they get stagnant and stuff. And I get it, you get caught up in your career and throes of things, you get busy with the kids and all of that. But
Yeah.
just being active, and keeping a positive mindset. Because when you keep that positive mindset and you stay active, life looks different, you know.
Okay. Okay. So mentally, best advice you've received mentally.
Mentally, that kind of piggyback on that mindset, man. Like just really adjusting that mindset, taking that time for you to do you. Um, don't beat yourself up, because I think a lot of times in life people get caught up really riding themselves really, really hard, and it's just like, man, it's okay. You made a mistake. Okay, cool. Learn from it and on to the next. Don't beat yourself up and get stuck, because that's where a lot of times where things could go wrong. You just kind of get stuck thinking of like what you should be doing and just really being hard on yourself.
Okay. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. All right. Spiritually, best advice you've received
Spir-
spiritually.
Spiritually, I would have to say the best advice spiritually is just being thankful for everything you got. Like just really being keeping a thankful mindset and with gratitude, because all things come to you with that power of manifestation. That's how you're able to manifest that life and manifest and for things to look good for you, is just keeping that spiritual grounding and being grounded. Meditation. I love meditation. I'm an introverted extrovert, so I'm quiet by nature. So it's nothing for me to do stuff that quiet people do, like just kind of sitting in solitude, reading, meditating early in the morning, late at night, stuff like that, and just really being able to reflect on things.
Okay. And financially, best advice you've received financially.
Man, best advice financially, and I would have to say, and we're gonna add this for people coming in like with kids and stuff. Man, add your kids to your trade line. Teach them about credit. You would be surprised, like just the little things of doing those type of things. Because if you add your kids to your trade, to those trade lines and stuff, don't let them know that you're gonna add them. Because I had the harsh reality of, I told my son, "Hey, I'm gonna add you to this credit card," and oh, my mom gonna be responsible. And I'm like, "Look," and something told me like, "Girl, don't tell them, don't do it. Just add them, let them add it up to him." Of course, he ran it up, had to end up paying it, but again, with him wanting to do real estate, I already, we didn't want to do real estate. The thing that I learned with finance, man, look, money talk, but credit holds conversations.
There it is.
So therefore, like you gotta have that credit right. You gotta do the stuff to, get your credit right, and just kind of tend to that, to make sure, things are good. So I would have to say, man, add people to the trade line. 'Cause I don't think people really be realizing the power of trade lines and really that authorized use, be doing those authorized users for good accounts and stuff to boost your credit score up.
Okay, I love it. Listen, y'all heard her. Money talks, but credit holds conversations. All right, that's the
Mm.
5 and the 4. Now we're down to the 3. All right, Chef, give us 3
Okay.
recommendations. One book, one song, one podcast that has been life changing for you.
Oh, man, the podcast, like it's a couple of them, but let me see.
Yeah, go ahead and run them. Go ahead
Podcast.
and run them.
Let me see. I could run it. Okay.
Run them.
Love Dorsey.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, for anybody who's never heard of Love Dorsey, for once, she raw. I think for people that aren't real with themselves, she could trigger you. But she said like it's part of her delivery and like in her marketing and stuff, how she do, because like she gonna get under the top real gutter, real raw, but it's facts. Beautiful sister out of Florida, highly educated, but she gives that hood presence. But the stuff she be speaking, it be so real, and it's like I'm talking about that stuff people really need to hear to really
Okay.
get themselves. Because I just be cracking up listening to her. R.C.
Love
Blake's,
Dorsey.
Love Dorsey,
Okay.
Bishop R.C. Blake's. That's the second one. Listening to him with Queenology, just really helping me adjust my mindset when it comes to the world of dating, love, relationships, and things of that sort. He's been very instrumental in helping me grow. And my dog in spirit, Pastor Keon Henderson. Like when I say I've grown so much spiritually listening to him, and a lot of stuff, man, life has been different listening to those three podcasts, listening to those three right there. Um, Books, that I would say, man, I'm gonna have to recommend my own book. This is Success Secrets, like, because again, this is everybody giving the game, like they are giving the game and a different success. And again, you have a whole network in the book, and people want you to reach out to them in their network. Just so you
Yeah.
know, when you're doing those, when they have those books and stuff, they put their contact there. They want you to reach out to them for a reason. So
The
yeah, that
game
book
the
right there.
game is free, but the hustle sold
It's free
separately.
game. Just, look, I'm telling you, that's it. Let me see. What was it? A song?
One song, yeah.
One song. Oh man, let me see.
So
Ooh,
you want me to tell you what you put on your
what did I put on there?
Rags to Riches by Rod Wave.
Rags to it. Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, that's the me and my son. That's it right there. He say one time he had actually we was rolling some tamales, and this is when the pandemic hit, and this is so funny. He say, "Mama, you've been talking for so long, like this my last year teaching, this my last year teaching." And I say, yeah. And I was like, but look, I was like, son, I had to wait and leave at the right time. I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, I've been having a plan to leave. And he just stopped and he was like, this is it right here, mama. He was like, you really finna leave? And I was like, and I felt him. I was like, you believe in me? And he was like, I got something for you. And I was like, okay. And then he put on that rags to riches. I was like, that's us right there. We're going from rags to riches. That's it. That's the one.
I love it. I love it. I
I
love
was
it.
like, that's our story. We from rags to riches because I mean, like I say, he the muscle. You know, with any caterers, especially with the tamales. Like when the pandemic hit, you know, when he wasn't on that game and doing homework and stuff. Hey, come on down here. We got tamales to roll. He right there rolling.
That is,
So yeah,
man.
that rags to riches. That's
I
it.
love it. I love it. That's that belief. That's that belief,
Yeah, that's their
man.
belief.
I
That's their
love that.
belief. Yeah.
All right, chef. Here we go. Now we're down. We did the 5, the 4, the 3. Now we're down to the 2. Two
Okay.
things that you plan to accomplish in the next 90 days, 6 months, or it could even be a year. What you got for to do?
Okay, man, I got a couple of things. I'm wrapping up my cannabis certification through James Beard,
Okay.
so I'm getting ready to wrap it up, and some air wrapping that up as well. So those two are actually come. They're coming actually like next in the next the month or so.
Okay.
But the real project, my literary projects, I got literary projects coming up. So I'm doing a culinary anthology, uh, foodpreneurs recipes of success. So I'm taking a group of foodies, chefs, bakers, you name it, anybody in food, and they're going to get the recipe to success of how they doing it. And then also, you know, plus they'll drop a recipe. So, because of course they'll be part of it, like their signature recipes. And then my book, my personal book that I told you about, From Food Stamps to Food Mogul. So those are the two things
Man, I
I'm working
love
on.
that title. From food stamps to
Man,
food mogul. Coach, I can't I'm
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 telling
excited.
you,
I'm excited for you. Like
it's
I got
it was a
goosebumps.
real man. Look, that's what we go for is the goosebumps. I'm telling you, it was a real journey because, man, when I moved back from Atlanta, I took a pay cut. Like and I got out of restaurants too. I got out the restaurant game because after I had my son, like it really took a toll on me. Like not being a mama to him, and where it really hit me was like one day his daddy, he was we was both out, and I'm feeding him, and he was like, "Toy, he don't eat that." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like how don't this my baby you know, like how the mama don't know. And that's when it hit me like I can't keep doing these burnout restaurants and stuff. And so I took a pay cut, but with me taking that pay cut and stuff, you know, we was strugglers. So yeah, we was on stamps, like we was on food stamps for a little bit. And when I moved down here, I lived in lived out of Acres home. And so yeah, we look in the hood on stamps. Like I like it's very humbling because that's why I was like I never forget the struggle, you know, and it made me who I am and where I've came to this day. And you know, and I never look down on anybody with stamps or anything of that sort because I was once there, you know, right there doing hood stuff in the hood. So I get it.
There it is. There it is. Listen, man, I love the title. Look, the book is coming, y'all. The book is coming
It's
from food
coming. No, it's
stamps to
coming.
food mogul. Not only is the
It's
book
coming.
coming, but Michelle Obama is pulling up. All right, chef, here we go. We
That's
down to the
it.
one. So, one piece of unsolicited advice. Nobody asked for this advice, chef, but we're going to give it to them anyway. What you got?
The advice that no one asks for um, is that while you're second guessing yourself, there's somebody that's making $5,000 a month teaching copper deficiency in goats.
Man, I love it, chef. I love it. I love it.
So let me tell you how I came up with that before we wrap it up. I was going to go. This was the last year of teaching, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at ways to diversify my income and everything. And so, I wrote curriculum for the district for years. And so, for a while, they were on my curriculum that me and Chef Sam did for the district. So they're following our curriculum for all the
Mm-hmm.
culinary programs, right? And so, of course, they didn't pay me what I should be paid for, but I took
What
all
you
my
were
stuff
worth.
with me, right? Yeah, and so I took all my stuff with me, and so I started thinking like, okay, I could diversify my income, write some curriculum, do some cooking classes online, so anything pertaining to food, right? And so I went on this. Have you ever heard of the platform Teachable, that where you could do your
Yes.
online courses and stuff? So I
Yes.
did a webinar on Teachable, and the lady was running it, and she said, "I know that you guys are thinking that no one's going to buy your product. Who's going to buy it? There's so much competition, and there's so much of this, and you're really second guessing yourself." She's like, "But I'm just here to let you guys know there's somebody that's going to buy it." And so she was like, and just so that you know that what I mean that someone's going to buy it, we have a lady here. She teaches copper deficiency in goats, and she makes $5,000 a month. I'm driving, right? I almost choked on my drink because I'm like, what the hell is copper deficiency in goats? What is that? Like,
What?
what is it? What?
My
Wait
goodness.
a minute. I get to my destination, right? I get to Jasper. Now my daddy live off the grid, so it wasn't no reception, no nothing. So I had to wait till I got to my cousin's house. I Googled it. I Googled copper deficiency and goats. I got to work the next day. I said I'm gonna ask 20 teachers what's copper deficiency in goats. Hey, what's copper deficiency? I said, well, I don't know. What's copper deficiency? I don't know. Get down to the 19th person. She ran it because she's an animal lover.
Yeah.
Got to the 20th person. She didn't know. Out of 20 people, one person knew. That's when I knew. It was like all the anxiety, it just lifted up and left out. I was like, I'm gonna be okay. I was like, because if this woman is making this kind of money teaching copper deficiency in goats, like, don't nobody even know what that is. No one even knows that that's a thing.
Man.
And people are out here second guessing. They say, and when I be hearing it be so sad because I'm talking about people have some dope ideas. I'm talking about like I'm talking about dope cut straight from the brick type ideas, but they don't even
And just
believe in
won't
themselves.
won't pass go. Won't collect that
They don't
two
even,
hundred
they
dollars.
don't even believe in themselves, and then hanging with a bunch of haters that's trying to down talk them and talk them out of it. Like, it's sad, and it's like, man, you got a woman out here making this kind of money, running up this kind of bag. Yeah,
My goodness. Listen, Chef,
this is the only way you second guessing yourself.
Chef, you listen, you have blessed my life. You have blessed
Man,
my
I
life today.
appreciate it.
The one thing about me doing this podcast is that I'm really the lucky one. I'm the one who
Yeah.
is really blessed by getting to talk to so many great people with great ideas such as yourself. Listen, y'all. Let me run this down again. So I need y'all to find Chef, okay? So listen, www.blackgirltamales.com. If you want to email Chef, blackgirltamales at Gmail, Facebook, Twitter, Black Girl Tamales, Instagram, Black Girl Tamales Chef Diva. You can find her on TikTok, Black Girl Tamales. Listen, I need y'all to get at Chef Larkin. My name is Michael Prejean. I'm the host of the network. We're here to help you navigate the funky four corners of life. We got one purpose, and that's to help you navigate physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially. For Chef Larkin, Chef, you got any last words?
Man, thank you for. I was really looking forward to this conversation. I was thinking when you reached out to her, I was like, man, this is my dog. This is one of my favorite people, like one of my favorite fellow educators. It's time to chop it up, kind of catch up with them. I love it. I love what you're doing because I've had also opportunity because I didn't even know you had a podcast, by the way. And so I was
Yeah,
coming through, looking. I'm like, what? He been doing this a minute? Okay, cool. That's
yeah,
what he up to when he ain't on the court and stuff. When he ain't doing his thing. Okay, that's what's up. So I love to see it. So love
I
it, love it.
appreciate it. Chef, I appreciate it. Listen, everybody.
I appreciate
Again,
you.
this is the network. Until next time, man, listen, y'all believe in somebody and y'all
Mm.
make love the culture. Until next time, I'm Michael Prejean for Chef Larkin. Y'all be blessed.